Well, want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
This close, bro. Dude, he turned around on me. He's straight up.
So the criminal complaint was unsealed yesterday. It doesn't mention any specific politicians by name.
And tonight, federal investigators are delving into Crook's history. He's being described as a highly intelligent loner who somehow had a secret plan to kill the former president.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm in a very dangerous business. Being president is a dangerous thing.
On July 13, 2024, the world witnessed an assassination attempt on a former president during a political rally in Pennsylvania.
One shot right here, Mike. One shot right here.
And I was the one responsible. But who was I? And what led me to try to shoot a former president? Most intriguingly, how could an ordinary boy like myself become the center of one of the most shocking events in recent U.S. political history? Let's start from the beginning.
Thomas Crook was behind this assassination attempt comes as a shock to this quiet Bethel Park neighborhood. Tonight, he remains a puzzle.
I was born on September 20th, 2003, and raised in Bethel Park. Now, at first glance, it seems like it would be an epitome of the American dream. Tree-lined streets, well-maintained brick houses, and a close-knit community. The neighborhood was described as middle class or upper middle class, a seemingly ideal environment for raising a family.
Shooter's home here. This is just off of Milford Drive in that community. You can see law enforcement surrounding the home of that suspected shooter. We have seen them out there all morning today. Dozens of law enforcement officers. You can see they've even got part of this road taped off behind crime scene tape.
The kind of place where you expect future leaders and model citizens to grow up. But apparently, not for me. My parents were licensed social workers, dedicated to helping others in the community. From the outside, it seemed that I was destined for a life of service and compassion. However, the reality within the walls of my high school painted me in a very different picture. My classmates described me as a quiet, reserved boy. But in the ruthless world of adolescence, that quietness is often interpreted as weakness. And so began a pattern of bullying that would deeply scar my life.
I mean, he would sit alone at lunch. I mean, he was just an outcast, and you know how kids are nowadays, so they're gonna see someone like that and they're gonna target him because they think it's funny or whatever. So it's the best way I can describe it.
I was ridiculed for the way I dressed, especially when I wore camouflage hunting suits and masks to school. Maybe nobody really saw me as a threat at school, because despite the bullying, or perhaps a result of it, I began to excel in unexpected areas. In my senior year of high school, I received a reward for mathematics and science. This quote-unquote star award was worth about $500 and came from the National Math and Science Initiative. So as you can see, behind my quiet facade, I possessed a sharp, analytical mind.
Everyone kind of knew him as the kid that knew everything. So everything we would always joke, say, I bet Thomas knows the answer to this question. If we don't, Thomas knows it.
After high school, I earned an associate's degree in engineering science from my community college. And you know what's funny? I earned my degree just 2 months before I will put my plan in action towards Trump. Funny, isn't it? It's hard to understand my mind at this moment, but besides being good at math and science, it was also known that I really liked playing chess, a game that requires strategy, foresight, and the ability to anticipate an opponent's move. I was also fond of video games and was learning how to code. These activities seemed harmless, but they held a more breeding ground for something darker. Now, as I approached adulthood, I seemed to be taking a positive path. I was accepted to both the University of Pittsburgh and Robert Morris University. I had a job as a dietary aide at a local nursing home. I was working well with others and was even complimented well on my work ethics for my peers. So what exactly went wrong? Or, more importantly, how long have I been planning this attack on Trump? To understand the complexity of my story, we need to delve into my political views, which seems to have been very contradicting. In January 2021, I donated $15 to the Progressive Turnout Project, a liberal voter engagement group through the Democratic Party's Act Blue donation platform. But I wasn't a total liberal, because I was also registered as a Republican voter.
Pennsylvania voting records show that he was a registered Republican. And on the day of Joe Biden's inauguration, a Federal Election Commission record shows Crooks gave $15 to the Democratic-aligned Progressive Turnout Project.
Since the month of September in 2021, the same month I turned 18. So my political stance was not yet entirely clear. It seemed to waver on both sides. And to make things worse, this political confusion extended itself to my entire family. My father was a registered libertarian, while my mother was a registered Democrat.
State records show both parents are licensed behavioral counselors. Matthew works nearby at Community Care Behavioral Health, a subsidiary of UPMC Health Plan. His mother, Mary, is a registered Democrat, and his father, Matthew, is a libertarian.
However, since the year of 2016, both had been listed in the party's private database as quote-unquote strong and committed Republicans. In fact, according to neighbors, the house had decorations in the garden and front yard in support of Trump and MAGA. And with this complex background, we come to the day of July 13, 2024, where the political climate in the United States was extremely tense and divisive this year. Trump's campaign for re-election had rekindled many of the controversies and conflicts that marked his previous term in office. So, the rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, was part of Trump's efforts to secure votes in this key swing state, underscoring the political significance of the event. But on this day, all focus would be on me, because on this day, I will commit an act that will forever change the course of American history. As the former president took the stage, no one in the crowd could have imagined the horror that was about to unfold. I had positioned myself on the roof of a shed, between 400 to 500 feet north of the former President Trump. I was armed with a semi-automatic AR-15 style rifle, a weapon my father had purchased on eBay 6 months prior.
We're also learning more about the weapon that was used in the shooting at Trump's rally. Authorities say it was an AR-15 style rifle that was purchased by the gunman's father.
The FBI has told us that Crooks' father bought the rifle that was used, but there is no indication that he knew anything about his son's plans.
At approximately 6:11 p.m., and just only 6 minutes into Trump's speech, I opened fire. I managed to fire 8 bullets before being taken down by a Secret Service sniper. In those brief, chaotic moments, I wounded Trump in his ear, killed a member of the public and seriously injured two others.
You can see the guy there. I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead.
The shooter has been killed, and one person attending the rally was killed. Two others were injured in the shooting.
A witness told BBC that he had spotted me crawling with a rifle minutes before the shooting and had alerted Secret Service agents.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down. You see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
And still I'm here with you. And many officer people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals.
He's
we
on
have
the roof. He's
drug dealers. We have people that
right
should not be
here,
here.
right on the roof.
It's much tougher than it happens.
This close, bro. Dude, he turned around on me. He's straight up. Climbed the wall. And I popped my head right in front of him, bro. He's got a book bag. He's got mag. AR laying down. But watch out, because he can come right down on you over there. Ready? Yep. Ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
The aftermath was quick and intense. Secret Service agents rushed to protect Trump, who, despite only being wounded, managed to raise his fist to the crowd before being escorted to safety. The former president was quickly taken to a medical center for examination.
I got my phone. It's in my pocket.
Stop it, Karen.
This video was taken a little before 9 o'clock tonight, and you can see a motorcade escorting the former president from the hospital, a significant line of police cars, all of them with their lights flashing, and at the very end of that very...
But as the dust settled and the nation reeled from the attack, attention finally turned back to me. Who was I? And what drove me to this extreme act? As investigators looked into my background, they found a young man who seemed to defy easy categorization. I had no criminal record. I had passed background checks for my job at the nursing home, and I was pursuing a higher education.
Crooks graduated from Bethel Park High School 2 years ago. He's described as a smart kid, good student, someone who is mostly quiet and kept to himself.
So on the surface, I didn't fit the profile of a would-be assassin. The only thing that might have indicated something tragic was the bullying I had suffered through at school.
Fine. Did you ever have any interactions with Thomas in shared classes in high school?
No, I didn't have any classes with him. My only interactions with him were just seeing him in school, and then he was bullied. Sat alone at lunch. Insane. I mean, this is where I live. I never thought this would be going on in a town that I've grew up in my whole life.
But unlike school shooters, I decided that my direct enemy was Trump. But why? There were no obvious red flags, no clear signs, literally nothing. The investigation into my motives is still ongoing. The FBI reported finding quote-unquote explosive materials in my vehicle.
Law enforcement officials go on to tell the Associated Press that bomb-making materials were found inside the vehicle of the man suspected in the Trump rally shooting,
hinting that I was possibly on the way to do a more larger planned attack. Yet they also stated that they had not identified any threatening writings or social media posts from me. In cases similar to mine, it's common to find manifestos or some clues in blogs or forums. Attackers of my kind often like to make their intentions clear. In the months before the attack, I was just living a normal life. Yet somehow along the way, something changed. Something drove me to climb on top of a roof with a rifle and opened fire on a crowded political rally. The disconnect between the life I was living and the act I committed is disturbing and unsettling. Even my own parents, in their limited statements to the press.
Why would your son want to kill the president?
Back off!
No comment.
No comment!
Were there any warning signs, Matthew?
No comment.
How's Mary holding up?
No comment.
We'll release a statement when our legal counsel advises us to do so. Until then, we have no comment. We just want to try to take care of ourselves right now. So please, give us our space.
Expressed how shocked and confused they were by my actions. It makes you wonder how many more normal people there are in this world who are just like me. For now, they know I acted alone, but my true plans and demeanor after the shooting is still a mystery. I look almost like a child, a disturbed child. After all, I wasn't even old enough to drink alcohol, but surprisingly, was able to get past security, set up a rifle, and take someone down that I did not like. If only Trump hadn't moved just a few millimeters to read a chart, that day would have belonged to me. I would have gone down in history as the boy that killed a presidential candidate during a campaign. How did I miss that shot? Having such a clear and concise chance. Just the thought of it alone pisses me off.